Fumble definitely, yeah, Garrett Wilson's fumble definitely caught me off guard.
Yeah, neither one of them. Garrett, Brees,
Yeah, I
they're
know. I mean, Brees's I could see a little bit because he's not used to the unique, uh, I would say, load of carries. I guess with Braylon Allen coming in, but Garrett Wilson, I thought with a new quarterback, especially someone of Aaron Rodgers' caliber, there would be a lot more connection there.
Yeah, I thought so too. And then, I mean, just going back to Brees for a second, with Brees, you would think because he's split in the backfield, he'd be more fresh.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a tough game to rewatch. I was very upset the whole game. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the defense. I still personally felt like the defense held their own. Besides, I am kind of disappointed in the way the D line was again. But I think if you talk about linebacker DB standpoint, our defense kind of held their own until that touchdown. I guess.
yeah, definitely. I mean, Bo Nix was dirt and balls all over the field all day.
Mm-hmm.
They're still struggling against the run, the Jets defense.
That's a very red flag right now. I would say for our defense is the run game, and I think I saw something. We only had four pressures, three were McDonald, and McKinley had one. It's not going to get us wins.
I'd like to see our tight ends get more involved. I mean, week
Exactly.
3 against New
I would
England,
like to see Conklin a lot more too.
yeah, Conklin and even Ruckert. I feel like Ruckert has a lot of untapped potential. He has a
Mm-hmm.
couple drops here and there, but I mean, Conklin had a career game against New England, and then he had no game plan today or yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
Oh,
I don't get
exactly.
it. It's this coaching staff. It really is.
I know. I mean, look, you see right here, you've seen all season. Braylon Allen's getting, 6, 7 yards a pop. And, I understand, Brees is the guy we want. I still have hope in Brees, but if you have a guy like Braylon Allen who's having a game like that and Brees has no traction, then I don't care what your game plan was going in the game. You have to be able to adapt to the situation. So I feel like Braylon Allen should have got way more snaps and they should have limited Brees's.
Yeah, yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, you got to roll your hot hand.
I mean, right here, like this possession, this one really hurt. I mean, they're not showing it, but the first two runs with Brees, I saw an overhue head. It's hard to convince me that Braylon Allen would have punched it in if he was in. Just Brees is a tinier guy, and then we settle for three. In the moment, it's fine, but as we saw, field goals are not going to win us games this season.
No, I mean, but to be fair, yesterday it would have, you know.
Oh, exactly.
I
That's the
feel
thing that made me so angry was, yeah, we could, we look at coaches, Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, but even after all that, we were a field goal away from being 3-1 and tied for first round in the division.
yeah, yep. And then yesterday would have been perfect. I mean, New England lost, Buffalo had a real upset loss, Miami's
Uh-huh.
losing right now.
Exactly.
It would have been a real good conference win for us.
Uh-huh.
It's just like this has been a problem with Salah's defense for years now. They can't stop the run. It doesn't
Yeah, the
matter
run
how.
defense is it's so concerning. And
And
I like
then
it's yeah, I clearly understand, Mosley's been out, but Quincy Williams is, my opinion, top two linebacker in the league right now. And Jeremy Sherwood he's shown that he could like be a linebacker in this league. So I don't blame it on our linebackers. I think it all comes down to the D line, I still think. And I
yeah,
I understand Reddick, right now has his own thoughts, but I feel like it's hard to sit back as a front office right now and be like, okay, we're just going to keep letting him like hold out.
yeah,
Like I think you're
yeah,
getting to the point where that it's either get Hassan Reddick's situation figured out, or we have to go forward on picking up some other type of D line help.
yeah. Definitely some D line help. I know Lecky Fatu's going to be coming back soon.
He
Robert
should be
Sala
up
today
to
said,
IR this week. I saw.
yeah.
We need something to start going on
I don't know
the
where
D
Quinn
line.
Williams has been either. Quinn
Yeah,
Williams has been
that's what
quiet.
I don't know if it's because I've seen this, especially this year over last year. They are moving him around a lot, so I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that. But with the type of D lineman he is, the moving around should help him more than not help him.
Yeah,
This was a great throw by Rogers.
very good. Yeah, I mean, we got to get Mike Williams involved a lot more too.
Mm-hmm. Another one. Like I feel like Rogers definitely showed, great signs again, on the throws. He even showed good mobility stuff, but there are like we'll see as we get towards the end of the stretch of the game, but he is still missing a lot on those like timing throws. Like that's beautiful. And once again, Mike Williams had a great game. His timing with Mike Williams and Lazard is clearly there. But until we get that timing with Garrett Wilson, it's like, okay, are we just gonna force feed Garrett Wilson even though they have no timing, or are we gonna actually go to our targets that matter? Like the one play, I don't know if you remember it from yesterday, that first down we took a deep shot to Xavier Gibson.
Sure. Yep.
Like, why are we throwing it to? That's nothing against him, but I personally don't think he's really proven anything in the last season or so. So it's like I don't.
Yeah.
You know, if Mike Williams and Lazard are going, why are we throwing a deep ball to someone like that?
Yeah. Yeah. You got to feed your best weapons, whether it be Garrett, Mike, or Alan Lazard. And I
Exactly.
wouldn't be surprised to see it being Alan Lazard, just considering the connection that he already has with Rodgers.
Yeah, that's all it comes down to is these quarterbacks have trust the receivers, and if he's going to trust Lazard the most, then let's feed Lazard. Like even here, Brian Allen gets 14 yards on reception. We tried giving Brees those situations yesterday, but what do we saw with Brees? He had two false starts and he had two big drops, in my opinion, that could have been big plays.
Yeah, he mailed it in yesterday. He had some alligator arms on that one catch where he made a
Mm-hmm.
business decision because he didn't want to get blown up.
Yeah, that was tough to see. I don't. That's what I was. I mean, I understand this play call during 14 or anything going screen smart, but just Brees Hall, like Garrett Wilson, I think they'll be able to figure that out. It's just it obviously is timing, but Brees Hall is a little more concerning to me because Rodgers did get hit a lot yesterday, but I still do not think our the penalties have to stop. Like the pre-snap penalties, obviously the O line needs to figure it out, but that is a coaching thing. But in
Yeah,
terms of run blocking and stuff, you see with Brennan Allen, our O line has been blocking decently good this year.
yeah, yeah. That's true, but it really is the coaching staff. There's no
Mm-hmm.
accountability. There's no accountability in this
Exactly.
team. And that's the biggest concern because this is a typical Salah game. This is
Yeah.
vintage Salah right here, where you come
This
out, you look
was
great.
even though we won that Giants game last year. This exactly reminded me of the Giants game. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this is yeah. You're blaming the weather. You're blaming the cadence.
Mm-hmm.
The sun was in my eye. You play in the Northeast,
Yeah, exactly. I don't.
and
It's losing mentality, and that's why we are losing. Like I kept talking about it yesterday during the game.
that,
All my stuff was okay. Obviously, blown covers there, but
that play pissed me off right here.
I know that was really
Where's
bad.
Sauce Gardner? How do you, whatever
I
happened to
think.
Sauce Gardner following and
Yeah,
shadowing
I
their best
know.
wide receiver?
They said yesterday during the game, the first time he I think was lined up against Cortland Sutton was that third quarter where we finally motioned him to Cortland Sutton's side. Like, yeah, DJ Reed's having a good year, but why are we not putting Sauce on the number ones? The best corners in the league go to the number ones for those reasons.
Yep. It's just it's insane. And you know what? This is a team that was supposed to win the division. And that's not
Mm-hmm.
just fan saying it. The Super Bowl aspirations. This is
That's
the
yeah.
organization. Robert Saleh is publicly saying this over the summer. And now
Mm-hmm.
we're complaining about the weather. We're going to be hosting a home playoff game. You got to go through
Exactly.
Kansas City. You got to go through Buffalo. You got to go through possibly the Bengals, the Ravens. If they're coming home to us in the middle of January and it's
Mm-hmm.
snowing and it's raining, the weather cannot be an excuse. The weather
This play was
cannot
the
be
one
an
I really
excuse.
want to talk about. This is something I've especially noticed this year with Rodgers, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Is plays like this for a quarterback who's not that mobile like Aaron Rodgers. When your quarterback scrambles as receivers, you're taught to get open, right? Create routes for the ball. Tell me why we have Braylon Allen and Garrett Wilson standing in the same exact spot. Like this whole side of the field. If Garrett Wilson cuts this right here, we maybe have a first down or it clears up the running path. But instead, we take both guys to the sideline and then we have to settle for a field goal. That
Uh,
possession really pissed me off.
yeah, that's a good point.
I can't really bash Greg as much as I want to. He still did go 3 for 4, but if you're going to be a kicker for a team that apparently can't score touchdowns, you have to be able to make those field goals.
I mean, look at Adam Vinatieri. He's won Super Bowls for the Patriots on field goals.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at like you could say the rate like Tucker's having a down year kicking wise, but you look at kickers for like the Commanders, like that Seaver dude. I don't think he's missed one field goal yet. And you look at them; they're 3-1. They're rolling. Yeah, he hasn't really had to especially last week they won 42 to I think 42 to 14 or 42-21. They didn't have to rely on the leg, but those are still points that add up.
Yeah.
Because as much as we sit here and criticize the other things, it still comes down. The offense, as bad as they played, put that drive together with no timeouts to get us in field goal range, and we still missed our opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, not with that. And then look at Koo with Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's in the
That
mid
was a 58-yard field goal to win the game, and he drilled it.
Yeah. Yep. It's alarming too because he was missing field goals in preseason. He had missed
Mm-hmm.
last week, but nobody wanted to even talk about it because the Jets won the game,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like whatever. But Now, like this, it
That is
came
my
down to
biggest,
Greg
I would say,
Zuerlein when he lost the game.
biggest scarce right now with the Jets team is, I would say, the accountability thing. Where the only people I see taking accountability right now who continue to take accountability from last year are Garrett Wilson. He takes accountability. Brees Hall and Sauce, DJ Reed, the defense. Quincy Williams, Quinny Williams. They're always the first ones after getting. Hey, got to get back to work. But it's a thing that starts at the top of the board. Like, I also love this play call, a read option with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And he's the first one. Aaron Rodgers said the weather sucked, but so did some of my throws. And you're seeing
Exactly.
it right here. Like he's not just here for the paycheck. He would not be running around like this, like risking his body, risking his health,
No,
if he didn't care. And then people are
exactly.
publicly bashing Aaron Rodgers. He was the least of the worries yesterday. We
Oh
cannot
yeah, no,
expect him to be the Hall of Fame perfect quarterback, be the play caller,
exactly.
and now be the guy that disciplines the team.
And that's the thing. It's an organizational thing that you look at the successful teams around the league with like the line, especially the line, like teams. I'm looking at his perspective of teams that were losing teams that have transformed fastly into winning teams. The Texans, the Lions. That is a head coach thing. Like it starts at the top of the board where if you know your coach is willing to take accountability for your team, it's like, okay, I'm going to go to war every day for this guy because he's putting that same amount of trust into me. But you look at Robert Saleh, it's like every time we lose or every game, even when we win, it's like I feel like we rode way too high on those highs of the Patriots game where we get 10 days off and we come out, first of all, with no game plan and we let a quarterback that only throws for 60 yards beat us
Yep.
on the road at our home.
And not only that,
I wanted to talk about this play and see what you thought about it.
sure.
I noticed this when I was watching it live how he motioned Garrett up. And think about it, this is 3rd and 1. Why are we not throwing this in the flat right here? Oh, I mean, I guess he slept. That's fair, actually. I didn't realize he slept, but
It looked like if
I
you go back a
actually.
little, was that Conklin that was open?
Oh, he actually might be.
Pause that right there. Yeah, 83. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the whole point of the play with the crossers.
Yeah, Conklin. You throw that a little in front of Conklin, he has that right there.
Exactly.
Going back and like rewatching it really shows how much of a dumpster fire this game really was.
I know.
Then,
I mean, I do like this play call in 3rd and 1, but okay. First of all, the O line has to block better. Who is this? Tucker? No, it's Tittman. Tittman just lets the dude. I mean, hands on for a second and just gets swim over. Can't have that. And those are crucial. I mean, personally, live, I thought this was a fumble, and I'm pretty sure if they reviewed it, it was a fumble. But we got bailed out on that.
Look at him holding his knee. Aaron Rodgers is not going to survive a full season behind this offense.
Not at this rate.
Not at this rate, no. He was hit 13 times, 14 times. And then like the other thing I wanted to talk about was on the Pat McAfee show last week, and then like during his press conference this week, Aaron Rodgers spoke about handling success. And then this is the next product that they put on the field after beating New England 24-3.
Yep.
This is how they handle success.
Exactly. And so, as us Jet fans who are supposed to, diehard Jet fans, if you're taking a step back and looking at it from like an analytical standpoint, how are you supposed to, all these people, not even just Jet fans this offseason, we're talking about the hype we have and everything, how are we supposed to sit here and be like, you know what, I'm still all in on the Jets. I still think this is like, for me, yeah, I'm a Jets fan, so I still do think hopefully we can turn around because I always have hope. But if you're looking at it and you're not a Jets fan, how are you going to sit here and be like, yeah, they win one game 24-3 against the Patriots team that, let's be honest, is not that good this year. And then after 10 days at home, this is the product they put back out. It just shows to me that teams around the league can look at us as the same laughingstock we've been because until Saleh wants to take accountability or any step forward, and the same with Hackett, no matter what talent we get, it's the scheming. That's ultimately what these games are coming down to is schemes. Our scheme is clearly not built for us to be a winning team. We have the talent to definitely be a winning team, but the schemes are not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, we lost week 1 in embarrassing fashion to San Francisco. Week 2, Will Levis really fell apart because they were on the verge of getting blown out there too. And then you beat a bad beating a bad football team does not make you a good football team.
Exactly.
You should.
We have not, in my opinion, we have still not had a complete game that to the credits of being a team that, first of all, a playoff team, but a team that has Super Bowl aspirations, we have not come even close to a team that has put a game on the field like that. The Bills have done it. Last night was brutal, but the Bills have shown they could compete. Teams like the Ravens showed it completely yesterday. People want to keep. I even criticize the Chiefs, but at the end of the day, they're still 4-0. You've got a team like the Steelers, 3-1. Their defense is carrying them. If the Colts figure out their quarterback situation and get the offense rolling, Colts are a sleeper team. I mean, hey, at this rate, with the way the Broncos just beat us and the Buccaneers the last 2 weeks, they're clearly relying heavily on their defense. It's like these other teams in the AFC are slowly creeping back. The Raiders pulled off a win. Like you have to win must-win games because then when it comes crunch time, those close games are going to be why we miss the playoffs if we do.
Yeah, right now I
These
believe
games
they're
might
the
not seem
fifth
anything like
seed.
week 4 because it's like people are like, oh, you can't fall apart now. But these are the games you're going to circle on your schedule when you miss the playoffs by a game. Like that's the one we need.
Now, I just want to throw this out there real quick. If you didn't know the Jets score, if you say the defense held the Denver Broncos to 10 points, Bo Nix had 60 passing yards. He went 12 for 25. Aaron Rodgers went 24 for 42 with 225 passing yards. You don't know the Jets score. What are you thinking?
I think
Obviously, it's a
any
blowout.
reasonable NFL fan is telling you the Jets 100% won that game.
Yeah, this is insane, dude. And it pisses. This is what pisses me off. It's I don't know. It's like a tale of two teams. How can you be that good and that bad at the same time? They're
Exactly.
overrated. And now, like, I guess if you want to try to put like a positive spin on it, maybe we got our trap game out of the way. If the New York Jets have somehow fallen victim to a trap game, and I mean, think about it. Like, we beat Philadelphia last year when they were undefeated. I'm not
That's
saying it's
true.
the same football team. That was actually a Bryce Huff breakout game. Who's not here. So maybe they can go on the road. I mean, the Jets do not play well in London, especially under Saul. We saw that a couple years ago with the Atlanta Falcons. But I mean, they're undefeated right now at the Minnesota Vikings. So maybe
Oh
they
yeah.
fall victim to a trap game. I don't know. I don't have faith in it. I think.
Oh
I mean,
no.
they're saying that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be on the injury report. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't. This
We're
is brutal.
I wanted to show you this play because
Sure.
especially with a week like this upcoming week, we're going to have to go against Justin Jefferson and a healthy Jordan Addison. We're going to need performances like this from especially DJ Reed. He's been, in my opinion, he's been our best corner this year. I mean, you look 3rd and 4, we get to save all 3 of our timeouts. This is a crucial play. This is what we call a winning play,
Yeah.
and that should have been. We should be sitting here right now showing this play, being like, that is why we won the game.
And here's Sawa with his pom poms. Yay!
Exactly. High
And
five.
the thing is,
Always has this like. There needs to be like. That's the thing you can tell during in games too is there's no accountability on the field. We
yeah,
come off the field after a blown possession, 3-and-out. Hey, high fives to everyone. No, you have to be on your
yeah.
players if they're making a mistake.
Yep. Good job. Good job. Good job. And here's the thing: I want to like Robert Saleh. I can't. I can't. I've given him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, what he's 18 and 30 or something like that, or 20 and 35. I think 20 and
He's
35 right
20
now.
35 as of now, yeah.
That's not a good. And Bill Parcells years ago said, "You are what your record says you are.
Exactly.
You're a bad football team, a bad coach."
And you would think I think Jeff Ulbricht's one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. And I don't agree fully with the way Hackett's play calling, but I do think he has shown some improvements, but that also does come down to Rodgers. But you would think as a head coach that it's your record that you're putting out there. Yeah, it's your team, but you're the one putting that product out there. So you would think at some point it would take you off being like, I'm done being a losing coach. I have the pieces this year. I have, the play calling. I have the defensive stars. I have the offensive stars. Like, let's put it all together. This is supposed to be the year we're putting it together. And, I'm trying not to overreact because it is week 4, but like this, I do think this game against the Vikings can tell us a lot about the way the season's going to go, and honestly predict the future for Robert Saleh's coaching career for the Jets.
Yeah, I don't think that they would make a move in season. I mean, we
No,
survived
they
2-14 with Adam Gase.
Yeah,
But
they definitely won't.
but this game was supposed to be a layup, and maybe that's what it was. It was just a trap game. I don't know.
I'm really hoping it was a trap game.
So I mean, now you have Minnesota, who's undefeated. You have Buffalo, who I mean, even last night, like they lost 35-10. Their performance last night would have beaten the Jets. That as bad as Josh Allen was.
This is the exact play I'm talking about. 3rd and 10. Honestly, the game's on the line. You have Gibson over here with Mike Williams off the field.
Yep.
And does Rodgers even look the way to the left? Now, I'm not blaming this one on Rodgers, but this clearly looks like a design play to Gibson. Clearly, the timing is completely off between these two.
Yeah.
The timing has been completely on Mike Williams. Why is this not a back shoulder fade to Mike Williams?
If you look again, just watch Conklin on this play. If you pause it right there, he's it's a 50-50 ball. It's better than Gibson not turning around.
Exactly.
I mean, he's in front of his defender.
And you got to even think, Okay, so so first of all, this drive we had 2 of those in a row, horrible plays. Now we get the 4th and 10, and that
Jeez.
like
That
I
yeah,
mean,
that's what sealed
you
the
know,
game right there.
I understand, but like, let's just be like, come on. You're telling me as an offensive player, or even as a caller, you can't understand that. Yeah, they could fake the blitz, but you have 3 dudes on this side lined up against an O lineman and a running back that is clearly going to go block towards the right. How? How do you do that on 4th and 10?
Yeah.
Game on the line, and this is the blocking scheme we have for our 40-year-old quarterback who's coming off an Achilles tear.
He's not going to survive the whole season. I hate to
Oh,
say it. He's not.
there's no way.
He's already dealing with
And I'm so
with 2
frustrated
lower
is
leg injuries.
even after all that drive really ticked me off because that was a brutal drive with the game on the line. Even all that, 3rd and 5.
Hey, can we get
What
an
happens? We lose the
interception?
ball?
Can we get any interceptions this season?
No.
We're not allowed to.
I don't know what's happening with all that, but look at first of all, I guess 50-yard field goals are just cursed or something, but even after all that, right here, 10-9, you have a minute 27, you have the Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, Aaron Rodgers. I was so confident at this moment. Even with the way we played, I was so confident. I was like, you know what? Rodgers is going to get us in field goal range. Yep. And I'm not going to even say he got us in field goal range. As we'll see in the highlights, probably.
Rodgers is known for moving the ball downfield quickly.
Exactly.
This is like a vintage Aaron Rodgers game. You're down 1 score. All you need is a couple big plays get you into field goal range. I mean, I'm almost surprised he didn't go for a Hail Mary.
Exactly.
No protection, no help.
Just look at This is what I'm talking about, the play calling though. 3rd and 6, you're in field goal range, but obviously you'd like to get a little closer. And these are the route combinations we run. First of all, when they're bringing out an all-out blitz, this is clearly cover 1, or this might be cover 0.
I think it's cover 0. Yeah, it looks like cover 0 to me.
But these are the we have Brees try to chip and nothing happened. I mean, he could have maybe if he didn't try scrambling, he could have needled it into Brees. But obviously, when your pocket collapses, you're scrambling, and then he has to
Brees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Brees was pretty open too, and he's hurt. Here we go at the 50-yarder. I thought he had it too. It just curved right at the end.
Brutal. I was talking because I watched the game with my parents. I told them it's with the way the game was going. I was like, we're not going to win this game, and it comes down to the field goal again. We missed it, but we should have won this game. And yeah, it's going to come down to Greg, but it's a clearly bigger picture between the coaching staff.
Let that roll a little bit more. There's a very important moment here at the end. Once Rodgers sits down, I don't know if they're going to show it.
Oh, you're talking about when he put the towel over his head?
The moment Aaron Rodgers became a New York Jet.
Yep, I saw that.
Unbelievable.
It's brutal, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's you try not to overreact. As I was saying, but we sit here 2-2, should be 3-1, should be tied for first. And I personally, watching that Bills game yesterday, I at least think in the eyes of Jeff Ulbrich, he's sitting there amazed because I feel like they showed so much stuff on film that our defense can definitely capitalize on, especially in the pass game. And at this moment, we should both be 3-1 tied for first. But instead, we sit here 2-2 after losing to a team that I do not even consider close to a playoff team.
No.
And now we have to go play in London against the Vikings and then play the Bills, who are still I still consider them a playoff team, and they could be a Super Bowl team too. So now we have 2 tough games back to back when we should be 3-1, and now we're on the verge of looking at 2-4 when we should be 3-1, looking at 3-2 at the worst.
And we have to go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is always a tough place to get to. Hostile environment.
Pittsburgh's defense compared to our offense right now, it's not. I don't know.
The cadence was the problem. We gotta pull back the cadence.
That comment pissed me off. How are you gonna? Rodgers' cadence has been one of our biggest advantages this year because those free plays. I mean, even yesterday, you looked at play where they got called for the PI. That's the play that set us up to get us in field goal range. It's not like we had a big play to get us in field goal range to kick the game-winning field goal. We had a deep shot that got called for PI that was off a free play.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is the free play king.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It was me. As much as it pisses me off, and watching it back, it shows how bad it really was because like I'm drinking beer, just being like a diehard fan. I'm eating food and during the game. Like when you like go back and like really just rewatch it, like with a fresh brain, I guess, fresh mind, clear head.
Uh-huh.
It's bad. It's very
It's
bad, and
really bad.
there's a lot of flaws in this Jets offense.
Uh-huh.
Again, that
That
it's fitting that Zach Wilson was on the sideline because that was a typical Zach Wilson game right there.
exactly. My biggest concern is how, like, to me, yeah, Rodgers has shown Roger moments, but it's looking to me as I saw more explosive plays and big time throws and stuff from a guy like Zach Wilson with a rotating offensive line than I am seeing right now with when we reamped the whole line. We brought in a Hall of Fame MVP quarterback, and I like Nathaniel Hackett. I understand he might not be the best play caller, but you see with great quarterbacks, you have the ability to audible calls. And I understand as a quarterback, it's not really you don't want to be stressing every single play. Oh, I have to change it because I'm not getting set up. But if we're at that position right now where Rodgers does not think the best calls are getting called by Hackett, he has the ability. You've seen when he goes up there, he'll give a signal to like Lazard or something, and hey, quick slant on 3rd and 6, we get the first down. He has the ability to do it. So my concern is I think Rodgers is playing great, in my opinion. I don't think these Jet fans that are coming out and attacking him, I don't think that's right. But I think it's the issue of you have Garrett Wilson, you have Brees Hall, who have been our two big stars, and now we get a quarterback that can actually take us to the next level. And those two don't want to exist right now. And then we have on the defensive side, our linebackers and secondary are still playing like the Jets, I know, but our D line doesn't want to show up. With no pressure up there, yeah, we still held them to 60 pass yards, but you could show someone that game and be like, okay, they threw for 60, but they ran for 133. Yeah, I can still tell you, yeah, I can see how they won that game because they ran for 133. Like you should not be giving up 133 rush yards to the Broncos. They do not have their 1-2 punches. Williams and I don't even know the second guy's name. Like they're not there's not a good 1-2 to give up 133 to. You know what I'm saying? Like there's teams in the league that if you give up 130 to Derrick Henry, I can see it. Derrick Henry almost ran for 200 yesterday against the Bills. Like, there's guys that have earned those stripes. The Broncos do not have this type of run game. And so I give the DBs credit to holding the 60 yards. Now, yeah, there could have been some of the rain, but the issue starts up front. And, the clear fix seems like, okay, maybe we get Hassan Reddick back and it opens other valleys, but something needs to be done on the D line.
I'm at the point where I personally I'm trying to trade Hassan Reddick.
Uh-huh.
If you could get Devontae Adams in here, because I think that makes all the difference. It's another wide receiver that has the connection with Aaron Rodgers. It's another weapon where maybe Gibson doesn't see the field because he is not
Exactly.
impressed at all. He is not impressed at all.
He had one punt return against the Bills, and now the dude gets some of our snaps. He hasn't
Yeah.
proven that he could go, route a dude up and get us 15, 20 yards on a jet sweep or something.
Where's Corley? Malachi
Exactly.
Corley. He was the guy that that the Jets could not miss. They were jumping up and down when they got him in the draft. Complete steal, big. They were all excited. You can't see the field. They
Hey,
have
you're not going
nothing.
to even. He has what? I think 5 snaps this year, and his only completion is a screen. Like
Yeah.
you got to give you're giving Gibson a chance to run fade balls, and a dude that's small like Gibson. I understand Corey's not the tallest, but give the man a chance to run a screen for us or a jet sweep or a trick player. Like we
Touch
drafted
pass,
him for a
something.
reason. He's supposed to be the steal of our draft. Yeah, we got Braylon Allen too, who's clearly shown he is a steal of the draft. But we're not even giving Corley that chance to prove that he's a steal of the draft while he just sits on the bench. And if our production's not there, you have to find alleys to produce production.
And just going back to the play calling real quick, I think Rodgers has made a ton of audibles. I mean, we don't know how bad this play calling really is because Rodgers is bailing Hackett's ass out on a lot. He is. And whatever happened to Robert Saleh this offseason, he was so involved. He was more involved with the offense, if you guys remember.
Exactly.
It's not showing.
Yeah,
It's
where
not
is that?
replicating on the field.
I
I don't know what they
was
do.
not thinking we were going to be at. I was not thinking we were going to be at another season where you would see us as a team give up 10 points and we lose the game.
Yeah. This
Giving
is
up 10 points and losing the game, I thought that was done. I thought that's a start. That's not a winning franchise. It's not a winning team. That's not a playoff team.
no, it's not. They don't look like a playoff team right now. They have a lot of work to do and they don't have a lot of time. And this season could spiral very quickly.
Oh, 100%.
I hope it doesn't. I mean, I have no reason to give to have any faith in this team. It's just blind faith, and it's more. It's not faith. It's just hope, I guess. Like I don't want to
Yeah,
have to go
exactly.
through another
I
one of
call
these
it false
seasons.
hope.
Yeah, it's false hope. It's blind hope. That's really what it is.
Hmm.
This coaching staff hasn't proved anything.
Exactly.
This team, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, none of these guys have proven anything.
Hmm.
And then typically, when it comes down to these big games, the Jets do not show up. I mean,
Oh,
you
nope.
want to give them a little bit of credit for. I mean, they hung in there with Kansas City last year. They beat the Eagles when they were undefeated. They beat the Bills, but this is a year-to-year league.
Exactly.
So far during big games, they have won, and it just so happened to be a primetime game against one of the worst teams in football.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's my. I mean, I guess I'm not giving up on them obviously now, but that's my biggest challenge. I hope against Sunday against the Vikings in London. One, we don't see these because these penalties it stems from a culture thing. It's a coaching thing. So
Yep.
I hope one we eliminate the pre-snap penalties because that costs you big time. I hope we could somehow get Garrett Wilson involved in the offense because I do feel like that's what's missing in this offense right now. Because if we get Wilson, Williams, and Lazard all on the same page with Rodgers, I don't care how bad it gets. If he knows he could throw to one of those three every single play, I like our chances against any team in this league. And then obviously it's the pressure on the D line. I saw a thing. The Broncos are the number one blitz team, and the Vikings are the number two. So if our low line thinks, oh, it's just one bad week, they got a lot coming at them this weekend. So there better be improvements all around the board because if we drop this game in ugly fashion, this season's going to start spiraling out of nowhere.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, and this was really the week to get a win, but I guess it's also the week where we can afford to lose with the.
Exactly, get the trap
I
game
don't
out.
know what the Dolphins are looking like right now. The last time I checked, they were losing, but yeah, I mean, luckily the entire AFC East lost, which kind of helps us, I guess, in a way. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Sauce and DJ Reed are gonna have a big game. They're gonna have their hands full with
Exactly.
and Addison, and then we have Aaron
Yep.
Jones. So uh, Sam Darnold needs to come back down. I mean, we've seen Sam Darnold. We know exactly how he is.
Man, we've seen him when he's seeing ghosts, and we've seen him as an MVP caliber now. So we got
Yeah.
to get him back to that common ground.
Hopefully, it could be a trap game for them where they're heading to London. Maybe they're not well rested. The time difference is going to play a big difference. I don't know. There's no
Mm-hmm.
way of me telling like what this team is going to be. I have
Exactly.
no idea. Like I said, it's false hope. It's just hoping
Mm-hmm.
for the best, expecting the worst. And then like the whole thing is to just the biggest thing is get Aaron Rodgers out of there healthy. Get everybody out of there
Exactly.
healthy. We cannot afford another blow of this offense. Really,
No.
another blow of this team because, I mean, the thing too, Will McDonald, like neutral zone infraction. Like, what are
Yeah,
you
that
doing?
was.
You don't know where to line up. Jermaine
Mm-hmm.
Johnson's loss is really hurting us big time.
Jermaine, yeah, that's what that problem too is now with Jermaine Johnson. Now, if you're gonna have Hassan Reddick sitting out, okay, if either side doesn't want to budge, you either trade him or you bring him in. There's the season we're trying to have, and the way the D line looks without Jermaine Johnson, it cannot be a stalemate situation anymore. It has to there has to be action where we're either going to trade you or you're coming in the building and you're going to play for our team.
Right.
We can't keep going week and week where it's like, man, I wish we had help on the D line. And he's just sitting at home with his agent, and we're sitting here with a losing D line that's getting no pressure on the quarterback, and there's just nothing. Every week, same article, no talks, no contract agreement. Like there has to be something gets done with that situation, and I hope that the team can show up this Sunday.
I hope so too, man. I really do. I'm gonna be eating my breakfast, having my mimosas and Bloody Marys, and hoping for a
Mm-hmm.
miracle.
Damn. Well, it was good talking to you, and I'll see you Monday, hopefully after a win.
Yeah, sounds good, man.